By the way, Vanessa's 18th birthday party was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I had so much fun. Like everything was amazing. Like everything was like all the details, everything was not over the top, but at the same time was very beautiful and it was very Vanessa.
So how's that graduation planning at the other side? Because we don't see that as parents, right? So like, how does that happen at school?
Well, I don't do all of it. We do have an activities director that does all the planning, and it's a lot of planning because I don't know how, when I graduated, where we sat was in order of our last name from A to Z.
Same.
So this year, and I don't know if it was different last year because I wasn't really involved last year. This year, I just kind of was pulled in to be a little more involved. The students got to pick where they sat. And so when I was at graduation, the parents were like, wait, it's not an alpha order? Welcome back to We Time Convo podcast. I'm Liza.
And I'm Debbie.
Today's episode is all about milestones and memories.
We're diving into Vanessa's epic 18th birthday bash.
And all things graduation, the planning, the parties, the tears, and maybe a few laughs along the way.
Whether you're a proud parent, a grad-to-be, or just here for the stories, this one's for you.
Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning.
I'm tired. It's just been this is a crazy time of year.
It is.
Yeah, and I can imagine it's crazy for you because Vanessa just graduated.
Yeah, this year has been.
She just had her big party.
Yes, yeah. It's a milestone for her, for me. It's just been a very hectic, jam-packed first half of the year.
Yes. So can you safely say that you can take a breath now?
Yes.
Okay.
I can. Her graduation was a couple days ago. We decided to also have a graduation party the same day. So it was during the weekday.
Yeah, I got the invite pretty late. And I was like, was this like a last minute thing?
Yes, yeah. Because I was debating whether or not to even have one, just because we just had her 18th birthday a couple of weeks ago. And so I was like, should we have another party?
Oh, by the way, Vanessa's 18th birthday party was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I had so much fun. Like everything was amazing. Like everything was like all the details, everything was not over the top, but at the same time was very beautiful and it was very Vanessa.
I am very glad you liked it. I felt really good about the party.
Yeah.
It was very stressful, as you can recall, but everything worked out beautifully. I had a great help. Shout out to LaSalle. She was wonderful.
Is that your party planner?
She is.
Yeah, she was amazing.
She was amazing. She kept me focused. We only had a limited amount of time, and I felt really good about the whole event. I don't know how to describe it. It was beautiful. It was just, for me, it was beautiful to see so many different people in different facets of her life come together at one time for her. So I was very overwhelmed at just the beautiful event. And mind you guys, I didn't really care to do it.
Yes.
But I'm so glad that I did, just because, like I said, we had so many wonderful people in her life just showing up for her, and it looked like everybody had fun. So.
I had a blast, and her dress was beautiful. It still had that like debut feel to it with like the froofiness,
yes,
but it wasn't over the top.
Which I'm glad, because it was very like I like I said, I was on a very limited budget, so I wanted to be very thoughtful of where I spent the money. And looking back at it, I think I was very happy of where I put money. Yeah. And so it was a fun party. I felt like I didn't waste anything, if that makes sense.
No, it was perfect. I had so much fun. I was on the dance floor with everybody. Paul was dancing. Isaiah was dancing. Everyone got out and like danced, and it was just, we had the most amazing time. So.
Well, it's interesting because at these parties it can tend to it's an event, because we started off like at 5:30 and it ended at midnight.
I was surprised I was up that late, to be honest with you, because I'm like, I'm going to be done at 9.
And usually it drags, right? Because we did the whole 18 candles, 18 roses. And so everything was very like, we didn't do it all at once. We did 2 sets. I was very touched at everybody who spoke, even people that we didn't think were going to spoke. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. And I think your mom's speech to her was my most favorite because it reminded me of my mom. She was just kind of like, make sure you eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like very grandma-y, right? Yes. And she even said Vanessa was her favorite in front of all her grandkids that were there. I was like, oh, wow. It was.
I think it was her favorite that night.
Yeah, just that night. But like, yeah, everything down, like the food was amazing. It was great. There was a little mini bar in the beginning.
Were you there for the late night snack? I didn't know how long.
I wasn't there. I didn't even know you had late night snack.
Yeah.
What, was it ramen?
Yes, it was ramen.
That's such a good idea. So how did that work?
So the way it worked was around 11:30-ish, we had the ramen bar open. Basically, we had a whole bunch of different types of instant noodles that you could pick from. And we also doubled down on it because we also added as her favor. So if you wanted to eat it there, great. If you wanted to just take it home, great. But it was super easy just because all you had to do was add water.
That's such a great idea. Like, how did you come up with that idea?
I had seen it on Pinterest and I thought it was a really cool idea. All the kids love ramen. I love ramen. And everything's so formal. And then it was just a good, easy thing. I didn't want it. So some people just wondered, are you going to do any favors? I personally don't care for favors unless they're edible. Like I don't need another
magnet on the fridge that you can't fit,
or what is it?
Little trinket or something.
Yeah,
I get it
with your
it's
name and date, right?
Yeah. Because who really keeps those? There's pictures, right? You have pictures to remember that. Yeah.
So I didn't really want to do that. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do the instant noodle bar and say, hey, here, please take one. And thank you for coming. And double down on it.
That was a great idea. I saw Peter get a little emotional during his speech.
Yes, I was I wasn't surprised because he was emotional in our wedding as well. Mm-hmm. What surprised me was all the other guys after him that got emotional. Yeah. So it was a really beautiful event. I'm glad we were in the moment. We saw pictures, looking forward to more pictures. But yeah, no, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. And then, your big picture backdrop in the beginning where everyone took pictures.
Yes. Everybody asked how that happened. And I said, it was my girls, my mommies. They helped me with that.
Yes. So I had the great idea. It was my idea. So as you know, we had our mom's Mother's Day staycation at the hotel. And Debbie had mentioned that she had this big, I think it was even after our last recording before that you had this big project of putting together hundreds, I don't even know, maybe 1,000 photos on one huge backdrop. And I was like, how long is this going to take you? And you're like, well, I don't know. It's a lot of pictures. And I said, you know what? Just bring it. Bring it to the hotel.
You did.
It would be a great bonding moment. We can help you put this together, teamwork. But it was also great because we also got to reminisce and look at all the pictures because they were also pictures of our kids when they were little and us. So I thought it was a great idea, and we knocked it out in like a couple hours. So it was beautiful.
Was a huge help. It's so. Just for our listeners to visualize, there is what I had a vision of having a backdrop for people to take pictures and something for people to, just enjoy. And want it personalized. And so it was a DIY project for myself. And Liza, thank you for, pushing me to bring it to our staycation because again, it was a staycation for our moms and I didn't want them to feel like they had to do something or work. But I come to realize that us as moms, it's hard for us to just do nothing.
Yes.
Like we can do nothing for maybe like an hour, 2 hours, but to do nothing all day, I think that it gets really challenging for us. And so this was something that kept us busy, but not like you didn't have to really think.
It didn't feel like work.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like work. Yeah.
And you're right. I think everybody enjoyed it because there was so many pictures of so the backdrop basically is a collage of pictures, black and white, that is, her throughout the years. And obviously her throughout the years is all these great people in her life who are attending the party. And so we wanted them to also see, like, some of these pictures, I think some of you guys didn't even know it was there.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, where was this? And so I thought that was a really cool activity. It looked great. Like together, it looked great in pictures. And so I'm really glad I ended up doing it. But yes, it was it was probably close to like 700 pictures that I printed out and then had to go to Home Depot and, do a couple of videos to figure out how to do this. But I think it came together really well. And we actually used the backdrop again at her graduation party.
Perfect. There you go. Make use of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So now I think we're done. So the question is, what do we do with the pictures? Because we definitely want to keep them. So I think, I don't know, we're debating. We're trying to figure out what to do because obviously there's a lot of pictures.
Save it for her college grad. Right? Just add to it. Wedding, something. Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, no, it was great.
It's beautiful. So my question to you now is, episodes ago when you were in the planning process and you're like, oh my God, this is so stressful. Like, was it worth all of that?
It was worth it because it turned out, wonderfully. I couldn't have done it by myself for sure. The help that you guys did, the help with LaSalle, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was stressful. So one of the things about LaSalle is our event coordinator and planner. She helped me throughout the process. I actually decided to, because, I've thrown parties before. So I'm like, hey, I can do this. And then I think about 3.5 weeks into it, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I can do this. There's a lot that needs to be done. And I'm like, I can do that. And then I'm like realizing, how am I going to do that and enjoy this party?
Time doesn't match.
Yes.
And so
like
the look and feel
thankfully, of it. So I reached out to her. I've known her since she was a baby. And she has...
so she was also like a family friend.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So I grew up with, I know her mother and father. And so I just...
And by the way, she was a great MC too.
No, she wasn't the MC.
Oh, she wasn't? Oh, I thought she was the MC.
So I had another person do the MC.
So was that also a family
she was somebody that LaSalle knew.
Oh, got it.
And so she MC'd. There's a lot of decisions you have to make for a party. And like, for example, like, who's going to MC? Is it the DJ? Well, the DJ can, but is he a good MC? You have to have a good MC. So you have to have a good MC. And so I could have asked one of my cousins that could have easily done it, but I wanted them to enjoy the party.
Yes.
So I got myself an MC. LaSalle was kind of in the backdrops, kind of just making sure everything stayed on time. Things were out, things were, being done, kind of what I've planned. And so I was just amazed with how organized, how focused, how just wonderful she is. And I need to share her because I think people take on so much when they throw these parties and you're not really enjoying it, or you're making mistakes that could have been prevented if you just had somebody who just knew what they were doing. Me personally, I know how to throw parties. So I feel like, oh, I can do it. I can save money. But this was money well spent.
Yeah.
And so I would definitely look to her for any of the events that I know that will require a lot more effort than what I'm able to put out. But just going back, I was, the debut. So my daughter had a color that she wanted. If you know my aesthetics and if you've seen my wedding, I kind of like a very neutral color palette with pops of color. Her, on the other hand, she wanted a color, like she wanted it to be fun. So she had color. I don't know about you guys, but color scares me.
I love color.
Color scares me because, to have color and multiple colors, if it doesn't look right, it's not gonna, if it doesn't go together, it's not gonna look right. So I was very scared with her color palette, but I thought at the end, when we saw it looked great.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was young, because I'm all into the creams, whites, blacks, very neutral tones. And my daughter was like, no, I want color. I don't want balloons, which drove me nuts because balloons is such a good color and filler. So we had to make it up in other ways.
And you know what I loved about it was that, so the guests were asked to wear black.
Yes.
Which was great because it had it had her and, everyone actually involved in it wear color. So they popped out.
Yes.
So I thought that was such a great, was that her idea?
It was my idea. It's interesting because she told me kind of what she wanted as color. And then I asked her, do you want everybody else to kind of wear whatever? And she's like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm like, okay, well then I'm just going to make everybody wear black.
Yeah.
I thought, and I've seen it in Pinterest where, you have an all black, event. And I thought that looked really, nice. Pictures looked really good.
It was great because I realized I didn't have a black dress because I love color. So I got to go out shopping and buy myself a cute little black dress. So thanks, Debbie.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But everything was great. I mean,
it was perfect. It was perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you said that you enjoyed it. What part of it did you enjoy the most?
I think just seeing all of us be together all in one room. Like, because it's so hard for all of us to actually be together in the same place in the same time and have a great time. And I think just seeing us just laughing and drinking and dancing with the kids, and it's like, and I'm just looking at everyone, I'm like, oh my God, the kids are so grown now. And it was emotional because I'm like, wow, like I'm having such a great time. We're laughing. And then I'm listening to these stories about Vanessa from her family. And it was just great. I think me like coming together, just as a friend group, family, and knowing you guys for so long, it just was very emotional for me, and I'm like, and then just to think, I'm like, oh my God, Vanessa's 18. She's an adult. Like I knew her when she was little,
Isn't that's the part that trips me out about this whole, like these last couple of weeks is the realization that my daughter is really like an adult and she's like moved on to another stage in her life.
Yeah.
And not only mine's, but we had a graduation on, like I said, a couple days ago, and it wasn't just her graduating. It was two others from our mommy group where their sons were graduating as well. And Vanessa and those two boys, they grew up together, and to also recognize that they're also like these young adults and they're moving on to this other stage of life. It's just like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's amazing how time just goes so quickly.
It's crazy.
So,
and we just got one more party.
I know. I'm definitely
Alina,
and I'm so glad I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Did you learn? So Irene, did you learn a lot from this debut? Like, did you have any ideas or tips from this one for Alina's?
Yes, I have. I have also asked the other mommies to give me some tips what I can change and tweak. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have my notes.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Good.
Well, I look forward to that one.
I do too.
Oh, and Vanessa's is it Tahitian dance?
She does hula and Tahitian.
Hula. So that was so nice to see too. Like it was just the right amount of entertainment for me because I've been to some parties and debuts where it was like, let's get going. Like, how many performances do you need? Like, I just want to dance and I want to celebrate.
Well, and that was our main goal too. That was our main goal too.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons why we picked the venue, because we wanted it to go until midnight. Yeah. And the reason being is we wanted to make sure we had enough time for dancing.
Yes.
And, like, because that's the fun part, right? The other thing too was, because she had to do some costume changes. And also just to kind of get the party started, we did kind of an icebreaker. We did a couple of games.
That was fun. Yeah.
So I thought that was really good just to kind of, get the whole guest involved. Yeah. And so it was fun seeing them just getting entertained.
Yeah.
Outside of just being focused on Vanessa, they were also entertained with, just all these other things that were going on. So that was a lot of fun. And I think what I also appreciated was it was the right amount of people. I didn't feel like, so the venue, I didn't feel like it was crowded. I felt like it was a right amount of people there because, sometimes when you go into a party, there's just so many people.
Yes.
And you're wondering, like, who are these people?
And she has to go around and take pictures with these people, so it's like, it's like a wedding, essentially. Like, it will take forever.
Yes. Somebody told me it's actually better than a wedding because they're there for her.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was pretty cool because when do you ever get something like at that level for just you? Yeah. So, like I said, and I actually appreciated the fact that we did a venue that was in a hotel because right after I'm telling you, it was just
you could just go upstairs to your room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was it
was perfect.
That was fun.
Back to graduation.
Yes.
How was Vanessa's graduation?
Graduation. Oh gosh.
Was it hot that day?
So it was hot that day, but where she graduates, typically they hold it on their football field.
Yes.
And so every year, that's where graduation is. And so this particular, and it was great because, well, there's pros and cons. It's great because there's no tickets. Whoever comes can come. It's done in the evening towards 6:00. So it's right after work. And, again, it's something that we've done, because we obviously have other kids graduating through the past years. And so that's what we're accustomed to. The sucky side of it is because of the time of year, it is still sunny. It's hot, a lot of crowds. But again, it's the idea of everybody showing up and celebrating. This particular year, they told us a month before graduation, a little over a month before graduation, that it's not going to be held in the field. It was going to be held at San Jose State. And people were limited. So each graduate was limited to 8 tickets. And so it was such a bummer, towards the end, I think we were able to get a little bit extra tickets because some people didn't really need
the nice,
tickets.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
It's hard for like someone that has a huge family, right? Like how do you pick?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, it happened at San Jose State, and it was indoors. And let me tell you, it was so much better because you weren't in the sun. It wasn't hot. The downside was it was during the day. So it actually happened at 12. Mm-hmm. So if you had work, you'd have to obviously take off work. Mm-hmm. And then if you had siblings, they would still be in school.
Yeah.
So, but it was beautiful. It was a moment. Surprisingly, I didn't get teary-eyed. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe to me, it's like, it's great, but you know what? She has another 4 years to go.
Yeah. You're like, what is this?
So I appreciate that this is kind of, the right direction of her going. And it's beautiful. It was beautiful seeing her and her friends. I think, I don't know about you, but when you graduate from high school, do you keep in touch with all your high school friends, or it's probably just pockets?
It's like, I can honestly say I probably, from when I went to high school, I am probably really, really close friends with 1 or 2. Everyone else is just kind of like high end passing, like a handful of friends. Mm-hmm. But also I wasn't like very popular in school. Like I didn't have like a ton of friends like when I was in school.
Yeah.
I just wasn't very I wasn't into academics. I wasn't into clubs or anything like that. I think when I graduated, I was just like, if you want to keep in touch with me, you find me, right? Like you earn your way into my life.
Well, it's great to see her having so many, friends.
Yeah.
But then the reality is that, you'll probably only keep if you're lucky, a handful of them.
And they're probably ones that do matter. So,
So I mean, like for that, I think I have a good idea that she'll probably keep in touch with at least 2. But you know, it's another stage in life, right? And I can already see that, you know, they're at this point, you can't really baby them anymore. You got to let them do their thing.
She's a full-blown adult.
Exactly.
Legally.
You got to let them do their thing. You got to let them figure things out. But, you know, for the moment, I really wanted her to enjoy it because she's not going to get this time back, right? Mm-hmm. Like, this is a moment. And so we threw her graduation party. My sister and my brother-in-law opened up their home, which was great because the weather was great. They just redid their backyard. It was beautiful to have everybody outside just kind of, you know, enjoying. My brother-in-law,
I thought it was at your house. No, I didn't make it. I would have shown up at your house, Debbie. I would have been like, where is everybody?
Well, it's funny because my cousin actually showed up at my house too. So I don't know why.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They have a beautiful backyard that they just redid, and we knew that the weather was going to be good. And the other thing too was Vanessa wanted her uncle's tacos. So he makes these great tacos.
Oh yeah. He's the one that does the tailgate, right? Yes. They are so good.
She had asked him, and because of that, plus because of their new backyard, it was just a great opportunity to just enjoy everything. And it was great seeing everybody come in, and it was a lot more relaxed, I would say,
than the 18th birthday.
Yes, it was a lot more relaxed. And so it was nice, again, just to kind of have, you know, this group of people come and celebrate. And I would say the one thing that I wasn't planning on this birthday was her graduation gift, which her uncle had this brilliant idea.
Is this Peter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of giving her a graduation gift, which was to me so cliche.
Yeah.
Which was he ended up getting her a car.
Well, I mean, he works in a dealership, right? He probably got a good deal, which is great. And it was probably good for him because he probably got the, you know, what is it?
I don't know. I don't know if he got commission or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he really he was very motivated to getting her a car. I was like, she's fine. Was she
surprised? I missed it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She was very surprised because she already knew that I was not about to get her a car. That was just no. That was a big no for me. And I actually kept telling him no, and he kept just ignoring me.
Of course. Well, I mean, if he wants to do it.
Yes. And so at the end of the day, what kind of put me over was her safety. So she does have an older car. It's the safety, you know, aspect of driving, because she will be driving a lot more and a lot further. And so at the end of the day, it was just, okay, fine. If you think this is a good deal, he's like, yeah, it's a good deal. I'm like, okay, whatever. This is you. Yeah. Because for me, it would have been a straight no.
Yeah.
But she loves it. And that was the other thing too. He was buying it, surprising her. And I'm like, she is the worst person to surprise, because if she doesn't like it, she's going to tell you. And then you're going to get pissed, because then, you know, you're going to feel that she's ungrateful, but she's just telling you how she feels.
I'm assuming she liked it.
She loves it.
Okay. Yeah.
She loves it. She loves it. And so, you know, like I said, I mean, I'm done with her now. She's like, all I have to say is that she has a lot to live up to and to get done in the next 4 yees. And so,
well, I wish her the best of luck. Yeah.
So do I.
New stage of life. And I got 2 more. So I got one next year. And I was just telling Irene, I, you know, for those who don't know, I work at a high school, and I was involved a lot in the graduation planning of it. So
how's that graduation planning at the other side? Because we don't see that as parents, right? So like, how does that happen at school?
Well, I don't do all of it. We do have an activities director that does all the planning, and I'm more of I helped a lot with like the diploma side, and I think It's a lot of planning because I don't know how, when I graduated, where we sat was in order of our last name from A to Z.
Same.
So this year, and I don't know if it was different last year because I wasn't really involved last year. This year, I just kind of was pulled in to be a little more involved. The students got to pick where they sat. And so when I was at graduation, the parents were like, wait, it's not an alpha order. It was so random. And they're like, gotta sit here and like wait for my kid to be called. My kid was an 8. Like, I don't know what the whole thing behind it is. I don't know if they just wanted to change it up. So they got where they had, they sat where they chose to sit. It was and we have a huge, beautiful football stadium. It wasn't that hot. I want to say it was like in the 80s. So it was
Is it
fine.
usually
It was
in the
at
football
4.
stadium?
Yeah. And it's usually like the hottest day of the year. And then, at grad practice, the students, because our guidance counselors called out the names. They spent all day practicing names because they don't want to up someone's name.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like they sit there with the pronunciations and they're like, oh, they practice all day.
So one thing that I also noticed at this graduation was we only had one valedictorian. Her school had 25. And I heard another school had like over 30. I meant to Google it. What makes somebody a valedictorian?
So for us, I think it's different for each school. It's up to each principal. For us, we had one valedictorian and we had a salutatorian, which is like the next. So it's basically the highest person with the highest academics, highest GPA overall. And then the next person below that would be the salutatorian.
Okay.
It could be for other schools, anyone with above a 4.0 gets to be valedictorian. But for us, we're just picking one, and then we're picking the salutatorian.
I'm used to just one.
Exactly. But, it's just the planning, making sure we're getting the names right. Behind the scenes, I was helping making sure, everyone that was graduating had a diploma. We had last minute graduates down to like the last 2 hours. Like,
oh my gosh.
Our counselor's like, oh my God, this person, just got a B. They can walk the stage. Liza, we already have diplomas pre-printed, but we have blank ones in case something like this happens and I have to print them.
Oh, wow.
And then we have to make sure they're all in order. Everyone has a diploma because for us,
when they get the diploma, do they physically get handed a diploma?
No. So you know how they give them the diploma cover? Yes. I don't know if that's what Vanessa's
like a
graduation.
Book.
Yeah,
like
a book.
It's kind of like a cover book.
So afterwards, the graduates can pick up their physical diplomas from us. So I help with the counselors distribute them in alpha order, or they can pick it up later.
Got it.
So it was a lot of planning that. I do the program, so I had to make sure everybody was on the program. Our names were spelled correctly. Luckily, I didn't get any complaints, so I think I did good.
Yeah.
About the program.
How many was in your graduating class?
I think 400.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was we kind of took bets on how long it was going to take. It took an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
To go through, like we had 3 student speeches and it was really emotional for me because I don't go to graduations. I've been to 2, which was the one this year. And then during COVID, because I had to help with that. And that was a whole production in itself because we had to make it happen for these kids. But there was this one student that I really grown it. I call her my work daughter. She came into my work. She transferred from another school last year and she didn't have any friends. And she got herself into a little bit of trouble. She kind of reminded me of myself, and she met me. She ate lunch in the office and we became like really close. Like, she would just sit behind at my desk every day. She would come visit me. She would tell me about her problems, ask for, relationship advice and just vent. And I saw her every single day and she would call me Miss Liza. She would say it like that. Hey, Miss Liza. So, and we just got very close and, she actually, it was down. She was one of the ones that were like down to the last day. Like we didn't know if she was going to graduate. We were really pushing for her and she did it. She did it on her own. And I was so proud of her. Everybody in the office knows her and everyone loves her. And we were like rooting for her. Yeah. And I was like, if you graduate, I will go to your graduation. And I never go to graduation. So I went to her graduation. I was very emotional to see her walk the stage. Her family was so happy. And it was also, so the principal, I'm the principal's admin assistant. It's my principal's last year. So he's been there for 2 years. He's going to move on to a different school, and so I wanted to see him at his last graduation there.
Oh, wow.
And it turned out perfectly. It was great. It wasn't too hot. Luckily, everyone was happy. No complaints. So
do you think that you'll go to the other graduations, or?
I don't know if there'll be another, work daughter. Nobody. She's great. Yeah, I might. I didn't plan on helping, and I jumped in to help, and I think that was, a big help for the school and the counselors for me to just jump in and help. And a student lost their tassel. I need to go run and find one for them, and things like that. So it's very stressful behind the scenes. And it is something to celebrate for the school as well once it's done, because the next day, our graduation was on Thursday, Friday. Everyone was so relaxed in the office, so like happy, glad that it's over, kind of thing. So graduation's fun.
Well, it's interesting because, we go through it obviously with our kids, but you guys in school that support our kids, you guys see them kind of also grow up and go through these things, these moments as well. And so, it's just, it is a rite of passage, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's great. Graduation's great. I look forward to Ava's next year.
Do you have any plans for her?
I don't. I think so she turns 18 in November. Mm-hmm. So we'll probably have a small party for her because she is going to Hawaii with her cousins. Oh, very So I kind of told her like, hey, I'll buy your ticket, but like we need to kind of like, and like financially, like if you really want to go to that, we'll probably have a small 18. And she was like, oh, I don't care about that kind of thing. So she's like, I want to go to Hawaii. Oh. Graduation, that's probably in the planning stages because I do want to have something, big for her.
Yeah.
Then we have Violets. I don't know how many years later.
So well, you have a while.
Yes,
for that one.
I have a little while. So yeah.
Does she have any plans for college?
Ava?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to do the community college route. Mm-hmm. She hasn't, because we wanted to go and visit some colleges during the summer and she hasn't said anything. Mm-hmm. So I think she's still trying to figure that out, which is totally fine with me.
Oh, I think that is probably the smartest way to go.
Yeah.
Is community college. If your child can stay focused, I say community college all the way.
I think it's a great way to like dip your toes in, right? And just see. And then if you want to, transfer over, you're more than welcome to. But I think for me, for her to jump into this, like, Ivy League college or whatever she wants to go, it's, I don't know that it's a good move, especially she's just kind of like, I don't know, kind of thing. So it's like, no. We don't have time for I don't knows. So, or the money, right? For I don't knows.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I told Vanessa as well. It's like now that you're really, you can't really make them do anything anymore. I mean, it's really up to them. And so it's all on her. The realization is, you can kind of still kind of push them in high school but once they hit this age, it's literally
on their own.
On them.
Yeah, because I mean, legally we have to keep them in school from kindergarten to 12th grade, right? So they have no choice.
Yes.
But after that, it's on them. It's their choice, and they gotta be responsible for going to their classes in college. And so anyway, so congratulations to the class of 2025.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you can finally breathe now.
I know, me too.